Mary Helena chapter 6. We stayed a month in Cairo with Uncle's Jesus, so Jesus could work with Jesus and Jesus to earn some money so we could have an easier start in Istanbul. His aunts and uncles and cousins were really beautiful. Jesus shocked none of them with his philosophy, and they had no problem with me sharing his bed. The business was crazy. There were more than 100 furniture builders working in 3 different shops. Wood, raw lumber, came in every day and furniture went out every day. And every evening Uncle Jesus took Jesus and me to a restaurant. This is a very beautiful restaurant for ostrich, so we should leave it if you don't like ostrich. What's an ostrich? It's a real big bird that can't fly. Like a giant chicken? So we stayed. No one had anything against giant chickens, at least not dead ones. What are you going to do in Istanbul, Mary? I'm going to study theater and dance. What a grand idea. Uncle Jesus loved the theater and admired those who had the will to do performance. Not an easy endeavor, but I am certain a very rewarding one. A wealth of history. How very exciting. My wife won't go to the theater with me. I'd be happy to take you to the city theater. Uncle Jesus told us about the city theater. Then we got around to philosophy, and I noticed that there was very little Jewish about the aunts and uncles of Jesus in Cairo. The world was so different than Galilee. After eating our giant chicken, we walked downtown to have a look at the theater. The Murder of Anid was playing its last night, and Uncle Jesus knew someone at the front door, and he took us inside to a private booth. The last act was about to start. Jesus and I were shown to our seats next to someone Uncle Jesus knew. They kissed cheeks like Jews, but they were both clean-shaven. Trumpets started blaring and I jumped a little. Then I smiled at Jesus and took his hand. He sniffed the top of my head, and we watched as the paranoid King Anid killed his servants who might have wanted to kill him. In the end, his wife killed him by pushing him from the parapet. Then she murdered his brother and took the son to be her lover, which was a little silly on account he had not reached puberty. That's the Greeks for you. Uncle Jesus smiled at me and then led us out and up the street to a Chinese tea house. Where's China? Northeast of where John studies. We'll go to the university tomorrow and I'll show you some maps. Can you just skip out of work? Uncle Jesus smiled, which translated to, Jesus can do as he pleases. It pleased Jesus to get up early in the morning and work till noon most days and take me to places he knew, such as the university and libraries and parks. Uncle Jesus took us out at night. Sometimes he took us to scary-looking places where theater of a different kind was performed, often works that local writers had written. They weren't at all the scale of the grand city theater, but they had much more interesting perspectives. Jesus, my lover, was convinced they were all telling approximately the same thing. He was also convinced they were calling out to him to do what it was he had to do. What do you have to do, Jesus? Howie? Jesus smiled. Mary Helena, my love, I don't know. And this is likely a good thing. For if I knew, I'm certain I would be paralyzed with fear. No, you wouldn't. You are a master over the devil.